The wild is ruthless, unpredictable, and full of shocking twists. In this video, we'll witness some of the most intense survival moments in nature, from the Antarctic wilderness where fearless penguins battle predators to a young lion's desperate fight for survival against a pack of bloodthirsty hyenas. Nature isn't just about strength, it's about courage, wit, and luck. And this is a world where only the toughest make it through. In the frozen tundra of Antarctica, emperor penguin chicks face the ultimate test: survival. These helpless chicks, abandoned by their once doting parents, must fend for themselves in one of the harshest environments on Earth. The icy wind howls, the snow stings, and every step is a risk. But what could be more dangerous than the cold? A giant petrel, a massive seabird known for its predatory nature, swoops in on the chicks, looking for an easy meal. Its sharp beak and towering size make it a formidable threat, and the penguin chicks, vulnerable and inexperienced, are unable to defend themselves. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, an unlikely hero appears, an audacious Adelie penguin, one of the feistiest birds in the South. With fearless determination, this little penguin charges into the fray, attacking the much larger petrel. With a few well-placed pecks and flaps of its wings, the Adelie drives the predator away, saving the emperor penguin chicks from certain death. The chicks, though shaken, are alive, and the Adelie penguin, ever fearless, continues to guard them, escorting them to the safety of the sea. But the ocean, too, holds its own dangers. As the penguins make their way toward the shore, a hungry leopard seal lurks beneath the waves, its sleek body and powerful jaws ready to strike at any penguin that dares to enter its domain. One exhausted penguin, too tired to swim quickly, finds itself in the predator's sights. The seal is fast, determined, and it won't let up. The penguin struggles, dodging and weaving, but the seal is relentless, closing the distance with every stroke. It's a life-or-death race to the shore. In the end, the penguin's agility and determination see it through, and just as the seal lunges for the kill, the penguin makes it to safety on the icy shore. But as the penguin rests, catching its breath, it knows that survival in the wild is never guaranteed. Meanwhile, in the heart of a bustling European city, a wild hamster embarks on a daring food heist. These creatures are known for their ability to hoard food, and this particular hamster has spotted a golden opportunity, an open food stash full of high-calorie treats. With its cheeks already puffed up, the hamster begins stuffing its cheeks with as much food as it can carry, but as it attempts to make its escape through a narrow tunnel, disaster strikes. The tunnel, meant to be its safe getaway, is too small, and the hamster gets stuck, its greed proving to be its downfall. The hamster struggles, wriggling and squirming, but it can't break free. Its cheek pouches are full and its body is wedged tight in the tunnel. It's a hilarious but dangerous situation. If it doesn't get out soon, it could become an easy target for predators. After a tense struggle, the hamster finally manages to free itself and scurries away, its cheeks still bulging with the stolen food. It's a narrow escape, but it proves that even the smallest creatures in the wild must be careful of their greed. Meanwhile, in the forests of Australia, a superb lyrebird is performing a concert unlike any other. This bird, known for its extraordinary vocal talent, is trying to attract a mate, and to do so it must impress the females with its elaborate song. But this isn't just any bird song. The lyrebird can imitate the calls of over 20 different species, mimicking everything from kookaburras to camera shutters and even chainsaws. Its ability to replicate sounds with such precision makes it one of the most impressive vocalists in the animal kingdom. As it belts out a tune, the lyrebird is in full display mode, hoping to win the attention of a potential mate. But what's even more remarkable is how the bird incorporates sounds. It hears from the environment, noises from the forest, the sounds of machinery, and even human-made noises like cameras and chainsaws. These strange sounds, though completely out of place, have become part of its performance, showing just how adaptable this bird is in the wild. In a strange way, its mimicry is a survival tactic. By imitating the sounds of other creatures, it confuses predators and rivals alike, keeping it safe and increasing its chances of attracting a mate. While the lyrebird shows off its incredible vocal talent, on the tropical shores, a different battle for survival is unfolding. Hermit crabs, known for their habit of using abandoned shells as mobile homes, are engaged in a real estate war unlike any other. These crabs must constantly find larger, more suitable shells as they grow, but empty shells are in short supply. As a new shell washes ashore, a group of crabs gathers around it, each one hoping to claim it as their new home. But the shells aren't perfect. Many are too big, some are cracked, and none of them fit perfectly. So the crabs do something extraordinary. They line up in an orderly queue, the largest crabs at the front and the smallest at the back, waiting for the right-sized crab to come along and start the shell exchange. The crabs are all hoping to move into a better shell, but the process is delicate. None of them can move forward until the crab ahead of them moves into the next shell. The process is intricate, like a real estate exchange where everyone is waiting for the perfect moment. But then, just as the chain of crabs is about to be completed, a rogue crab muscled its way in, disturbing the queue and causing chaos. In the end, one unlucky crab is left without a shell, vulnerable to the scorching tropical sun. In the brutal world of the wild, not having a shell is a death sentence. The crab faces certain doom unless it finds shelter, but even the smallest imperfection in a shell is better than none at all. And so, after a chaotic exchange, the crabs finally settle into their new homes, the process complete but not without its casualties. Back on the ground, in the undergrowth, a newborn mantis is fighting for its life. This tiny insect is born into a world where everything that moves is a potential meal, including other mantids. As it begins to venture out, it's immediately targeted by a hungry jumping spider, whose keen eyesight allows it to track the mantis's every move. But the mantis isn't defenseless. It's armed with incredible eyesight, powerful legs, and the ability to fight back. With nowhere to run, the mantis adopts a kung fu stance, trying to bluff its way into survival. It stands tall, making itself appear larger and more intimidating than it is, hoping to confuse the spider and buy itself some time. And it works. The spider hesitates, confused by the mantis's sudden defense. The mantis uses this moment to escape, narrowly avoiding death. But this is just the beginning of its survival journey. If it wants to make it to adulthood, it will have to keep outsmarting its predators. In a nearby clearing, a baby reptile is facing its own life-or-death situation. A hungry snake is on the prowl, its blind eyes unable to see the hatchling but its instincts honed to detect movement. The reptile, knowing it must remain perfectly still, hopes its camouflage will be enough to fool the snake. The snake slithers closer, its tongue flicking the air, sensing the tiniest movement. The hatchling holds its breath, praying it won't be detected. A single twitch could mean its demise, but the hatchling holds its ground. Finally, just as the snake is about to strike, the hatchling manages to escape, vanishing into the underbrush in a near miraculous moment of luck. But even in the wild, there's always danger lurking around the corner, and nowhere is that more true than on the African plains, where survival is a constant battle. Red, a young lion, has wandered too far from his pride and finds himself in the midst of a hyena clan. Surrounded by 20 hyenas, Red is outnumbered and outmatched. The hyenas, sensing weakness, begin to close in, ready to take down the lone lion. Red fights bravely, using every ounce of strength he has to keep them at bay, but the hyenas are relentless. As he's overwhelmed, just as death seems inevitable, the ground shakes. Red's brother has arrived, and in an instant the odds shift. With his brother by his side, the lions charge at the hyenas, sending them scattering in all directions. Even 20 hyenas aren't enough to take on 2 powerful lions. Red, battered and bloodied, survives another day. The wild is brutal, but it is also full of heroes, whether they are penguins, hamsters, mantids, or lions. Every creature faces challenges, but it's the brave and the cunning who make it through. Nature is a fight for survival, And these stories are just a glimpse of the incredible battles that unfold every day. From kung fu mantises to lion fights, every moment is a test of strength, wit, and willpower. In the wild, every step could be your last, but for those who survive, the adventure continues.